question. Quiet, please. November 11, 2023 all-cycle governorship election in Imo State, His Excellency, Distinguished Senator Pope Uzalima. The Independent National Electoral Commission organized and successfully conducted the first ever all-cycle governorship election in the state on Saturday, 11th November 2023, in line with the institution of the Electoral Act 2022. The election, which took place in the three states of Bayelsa, Imo, and Kogi states simultaneously, was generally peaceful in Imo State. The success of the election is not attributable only to the coalition's efforts, but to all persons, institutions, and organizations who made great sacrifices to achieve this goal. I recognize the efforts of the members of the Interagency Consultative Committee on Election Security, ICES, whose unwavering commitment to securing the process was impregnable. Permit me to also appreciate the 18 political parties that participated in the election for their collaboration with the Commission in the state throughout the period of the election process. It was with the partnership of all our key stakeholders that the success of Saturday's election was realized. The journey to this day was dominated by engagements with the security agencies under the auspices of ICES, political parties and their agents, the media, religious groups, and faith-based organizations, women and youth organizations, civil society organizations, and the organization of persons with disabilities. There is no doubt that these engagements have made far-reaching impact on the election process. Pursuant to her determination for success in the elections, the Commission lined up 13 activities to be covered before the election, of which the Commission concluded all within the stipulated timeline. These activities include notice of election, which took place on 14th of November 2022, started 14th November 2022, conduct of party primaries, March 27, 2023 to April 17, 2023, submission of forms 2C9 and EC98, this was done online, April 24, 2023 to May 5, 2023. Obtain of personal particulars of candidates, EC9, May 26, 2023. Last day for the withdrawal of candidates, replacement of withdrawal, all the pre-electoral and electoral activities within the timelines stipulated by the Electoral Act and the election guidelines in a professional, credible, and transparent manner. It is therefore in the democratic spirit that unites us that the Commission has scheduled the issuance of the certificate of return to the winner of the election in the 3 participating states simultaneously. This is going on in various states, Imo, Bayelsa, and Kogi today at the same time. The victory marked at the polls is an evidence of the hard work of the winners and a reflection of the trust the electorates have placed in their leadership. As this event marks a significant part of the electoral process, I congratulate the sitting governor and governor-elect, His Excellency, Distinguished Ogo Uzadimma, and his deputy, Mrs. Chinyere Ihuoma Ikumaru, on their victory at the polls. As the time for campaigning has ended and the time for leadership is ahead of you, I encourage you, sir, to be the leader and governor for all. Let the trust that Imo electorate bestowed on you at the polls propel you to deliver on your promises to them and live up to your mandate as the governor of all. I call on all stakeholders, regardless of your political affiliations and ideologies, to remain united as brothers and sisters and harmoniously build a state where peace, progress, and inclusivity will be a priority. The Commission looks forward to a concerted partnership with all our election stakeholders in the state in the nearest future, when activities for the next electoral cycle will resume. I assure all of the Commission's commitments. I assure you all of the Commission's commitment to deliver a free, fair, and credible election in Imo State and Nigeria at large. Thank you all for listening, and God bless you.
President Electoral Commission of Imo State, to warmly welcome you all to this momentous occasion. Section 72(1) of the Electoral Act 2022 mandates the Independent National Electoral Commission to issue certificate of return within 14 days to every candidate who has been returned by the returning officer under the aforementioned Act. In compliance with the above mandatory provision of the Act under reference, I have the honor and privilege in my capacity as the Supervising National Electoral Commissioner to present the certificates of return to the Governor and Deputy Governor elects respectively, who won the governorship election held on Saturday, 11th November 2023 in Imo State. Let me once again seize this opportunity to remind all Nigerians that the Commission is independent, non-partisan, and committed to its constitutional mandate in conducting free, fair, credible, and transparent elections. In the execution of this mandate, the Commission is committed to deploy technologies to strengthen the electoral process, including the use of BVAS, INEC portal, as well as capacity development of its entire staff. Let me assure the good people of Imo State, and indeed Nigerians, that the Commission will continue to build and improve on the gains recorded so far, and will never waver in upholding the sanctity of the ballot, as well as the continuous improvement of the electoral process generally. Your Excellency, I congratulate you on this occasion following your victory at the polls. However, I will remind you of your complementary obligations towards providing good governance to the good people of Imo State. Continue to uphold the unity of the people of Imo State and be magnanimous in victory. I salute all Imodites for the peaceful and orderly conduct of the governorship election in the state. I enjoin you to remain peaceful even at this post-election stage. Finally, I would like to thank our stakeholders, political parties, civil society organizations, Interagency Consultative Committee on Election Security, and the media for your continuous support and partnership. The Commission appreciates you all. Thank you and God bless.
Face the camera.
Of return from the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, as the duly elected governor of Imo State for my second and final tenure. I did so with a deep feeling of appreciation and gratitude to Almighty God who made it all possible. Let me start by congratulating Lady Chinyere Komaro, the Deputy Governor-elect of Imo State, who has also received her certificate of return, making her the second female Deputy Governor of Imo State since its creation in 1976. In my thank you address a few days ago, I gave shortly after I was declared the winner of the election, I acknowledge the contribution of all segments of the Igbo society who worked hard for my victory. I also dedicated the victory first to Almighty God, from whom all powers come. I equally dedicated my victory to Igbo people who massively voted for me and those who voted for other candidates. Let me once more congratulate the people of Imo State. It is our victory. Victory for those who voted for and victory for those who voted against. Let me once more use this auspicious moment to congratulate Independent National Electoral Commission for conducting the freest, fairest, and most peaceful election in the history of Imo State. I will also acknowledge and thank the security agencies for working hard to deliver what has been widely adjudged as a very credible coup whose integrity cannot be questioned. By upholding the sanctity of the electoral process, INEC has deepened our democracy with assurance that our votes will always count. I therefore commend INEC for a job well done, while also urging the opposition to see beyond their immediate environment and commend INEC for doing a very beautiful job, because tomorrow it may be their turn to win. I equally commend the security agencies and all those who work tirelessly to ensure that the election held peacefully throughout the 27 local government areas of the state. I'm aware that some cynics and naysayers have been stunned by my overwhelming victory. You saw me receiving majority of the votes cast in all the 27 local governments. As usual, critics have been weaving their conspiracy theories without taking into consideration the factors that shaped my victory. I'm glad to say that I deserve this victory because not only that Almighty God did the work for me, I strategized and worked very hard for it. This, I said, is the only way to guarantee victory in a democratic election, especially in a state like Imo, where the people are mostly literate, mostly Republican, and politically aware. This means they can separate the wheat from the chaff. Having said this, it is important to highlight two issues that I believe propelled me to clear and outright victory. One being the grace of God, two being my sterling performance in the past 4 years. And finally, the icing on the cake was the Imo Charter of Equity. The Imo Charter of Equity, which prescribes the orderly transfer of governorship power from one senatorial zone to the other. So when people speak of incumbency factor in aiding the re-election of a sitting government, some of them misconstrue it to be the use of power and state resources to confer an unfair advantage to the candidate. For me, that is not the case. Rather, it means leveraging on one's performance as a marketing tool in an election. For example, Imo people will readily attest to the fact that there is no community, no ward, no local government that has not been impacted positively, directly or indirectly by my government. Is it in the area of infrastructure, especially road infrastructure? I made the difference. In all sectors of the economy, our people have felt the positive impact of my administration. As various groups, including trade unions, were endorsing me for re-election. When they were doing this, some people dismissed it as a political gimmick. But those who endorsed me have walked the talk with their followers. The result of their efforts in this resounding victory is very clear. The beneficiaries of our 3R mantra of reconstruction, rehabilitation, and recovery showed me appreciation through their votes. The same is true with thousands of youths whom this government have trained and empowered. It was very clear that my opponents failed to provide an alternative blueprint for better achievements than mine. So there is no way they could have won. It would be unthinkable for those who are not prepared to expect electoral victory. The second factor, like I mentioned earlier, the Imo Charter of Equity, which the Elders Council, traditional rulers, religious leaders promoted to enthrone peace and order in the transfer of power in the state. Since I'm from Olo, These leaders endorsed me for a second term and final tenure. They made an appeal to Imo people that only those from Oluzun should contest the last election, because the charter does not abridge the constitutional right of anybody. Our brothers from Owerri and Okigwe still contested, but the people rejected them. They rejected them because they swam against the tide which the Charter of Equity represents. In other words, apart from my superlative performance, the Charter of Equity played a key role in my re-election. People who voted to support the Charter so that going forward, our electoral process in the state will be rancor-free and less expensive. The first takeaway from the Charter of Equity going forward is that under my watch, Owerri Zone will produce the next governor of Imo State. Now that the election is over, I renew my call to my brothers who contested with me to join hands with my administration to continue to offer quality services to the people of Imo State. My appeal is that we should put the interests of the state and her people above our personal consideration. There is still time for everybody to buy into the Charter of Equity. As always, I am committed to running an inclusive government where the interests of every Imo man and woman will be accommodated. My desire is to leave a legacy of a tradition of rancor-free politics that guarantees all zones a realistic entitlement to the governorship of the state. Finally, I once again extend an olive branch to all aggrieved persons and groups and invite them to join hands with me to work to grow our state and make the state the envy of other states. The Almighty God, who sees our heart, continue to protect and guide us, and make Imo State a prosperous state. In the name of the Father.
What happened today is very deserving, and the Excellency deserves the vote Imo people gave to him. Today, Imo people are happy. I'm very, very happy. I want to tell you that the Imo people are happy, and Imo has finally prevailed, and Imo will continue to prevail. For his speech today, what it portends is that he is going to do more from what he promised the people and what he has done. He told Imo people that he's going to improve on his infrastructural development in all areas of the sector that you mentioned, and we will trust him, and we will know that he's a man that has never failed his people, and it is not this time that he will fail. And that was why some of us worked assiduously, worked day and night to make sure that he emerges as the governor of the state. And today, the certificate of return has finally issued to him. This put to bed all the struggles, all the bickerings, all the opposition they have mounted against the re-election of His Excellency.
Okay, talking about opposition, what is your advice for the oppositions? Most of them that are agree.
Okay, like you can see during his speech, he has extended olive branch He has asked them, he has started engaging them. Let them come, so that they can put hands together and build the Imo State of our dream. So what else do you expect him to do? And he is prepared. He has started even before now to talk to those of them who lost. He said that nobody has lost, but that Imo has won, and which is the correct thing. So he wants to put everybody together so that we can move Imo State forward positively.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
First of all, today is a historic political day in the further development of Imo State. What happened during the November 11, 2023 gubernatorial election was a Pan-Igbo mandate, expressly and joyously given to His Excellency Most Distinguished Senator Hope Uzodimma, based, strictly based on his performance, first-term performance, despite all obvious political loopholes set up by dictators, because I call them, they are no longer political opponents, but dictators of Imo State, because there must be a defining moment for politics and good governance. But in Imo State, after election, that period of governance, the political opponents continued partisan politics. And what happened from 2020 to this election was destructive, if not for the divine and courageous and ebullient nature and capacity of His Excellency Most Distinguished Senator Hope Uzodimma. Any other ordinary person would have been derailed. And what we are talking today would not have happened. And Imo people, having realized that this is His Excellency Most Distinguished Senator Hope Uzodimma, is God's gift to Imo State. Look at his background. He's a philanthropist of known record. He's not a selfish leader. He's a patriot of first-class order, an altruist leader that talks of the people instead of himself. They decided to reward him with this overwhelming mandate across the 27 local governments and made his opponents Lilliputian in the last contest. But like in victory, there must be magnanimity. He has extended his hand of friendship and fellowship to his brother governor, his brother contestants, to come and join him in the further development of Imo State, so that we will have a better, more prosperous Imo to leave behind after his next 4 years.
A happy day today is a happy day for His Excellency the Governor to receive his certificate of return for a well-deserved victory that Imo people willingly and massively came out to vote for him, to re-elect him, looking at the developmental strides he has made in the last 3 years, and because this first tenure is yet to end, he's still running. So a lot has been done. He has changed the narrative, and he's touching not just physical infrastructure. As he's approaching physical infrastructure development, he is also doing a whole lot on the area of human capital development. So people are happy, and they have expressed that happiness. He has shown them love. He approached this leadership with love for the people of Imo, giving them solid roads, quality infrastructure, and that's a whole lot to rejoice about. And if the 3 years is like this, by the time he's done with the next 4 years, Imo states will be competing with places like Abuja and all that. So it's a happy day for us.
Thank you very much.